Welcome back into Buckeye Beat. I'm Noah Weiskopf, joined here by Tyler Danburg. Ohio State is fresh off a 38-7 victory in East Lansing, Michigan against the Spartans. The Buckeyes had an all-around dominant effort, but offensively they were on full display. The big key all preseason was Will Howard's number of weapons on the offense to spread the ball to. Howard was not brought here to be Superman. He was brought here to be a distributor, and Emeka Egbuka had led the team in receiving, added a touchdown. Jeremiah Smith not only scored twice, but also made a pair of unbelievable one-handed catches there at the end of the second half there, or at the end of the first half there. And while Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, their numbers didn't necessarily stand out off the stat sheet, they were effective. Henderson averaged 9.9 yards per carry on 7 carries. Judkins averaged 4.9 yards on his 11 attempts. But overall, it really shows that on any given day, this Buckeyes offense can beat their opponent in a multitude of ways. But Tyler, the defense showed out as well.
Takeaways. Denzel Burke with his second interception. Jordan Hancock forced a fumble. And preseason All-American Caleb Downs was named the silver bullet of the game. Ohio State's allowing just 6.8 points per ball game, the fewest in the country, and they're going to look to do that against another really good scoring defense in Iowa.
Talk about Iowa. All right, so now looking ahead, the Buckeyes will host the Hawkeyes Saturday at the Shoe, kickoff set for 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. This will probably be the toughest test the Buckeyes have faced thus far in 2024.
This is as good a defense as we talked about as we faced, but there's going to be a lot of one-on-one battles. You know, we have to win against their interior defensive linemen are outstanding. So that matchup with our center and guard against the two interior defensive linemen and the All-American linebacker are a huge matchup.
I'm looking right at Iowa's defense as the key in this one. They've been so good for so long, thanks to defensive coordinator Phil Parker, who's actually the longest tenured defensive coordinator in the country. Also has his team always ready to go. I'm looking at their linebackers, though, specifically. Senior veteran linebacker Jay Higgins leads the team in tackles with 34 and has forced 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, a forced fumble. But talk about veteran. Fellow linebacker Nick Jackson is in his 6th collegiate season. He played 4 of those at Virginia, now in his 2nd season at Iowa. And get this, Jackson's only 89 tackles away from becoming college football's all-time tackle leader. But Higgins and Jackson are the 2 guys to keep your eye on here in the middle of the Hawkeye defense. What do you see in the Iowa offense, Tyler?
I think it starts and ends with Caleb Johnson. Their offensive identity is running the ball, and the Hamilton, Ohio native can do that.
They're just doing a great job of creating seams for him, and he's fantastic back, you know.
He has 4 straight 100-yard games. He was named the Doak Walker National Running Back of the Week in their last matchup against Minnesota, where he ran for a career-high 206 yards and 3 touchdowns. The starting O-line as well, Noah, has combined for 148 career starts, paving the way for Johnson up front.
And the biggest thing here, I think, is if you're Ohio State, you can't fall behind, and you can't let Iowa get ahead. They struggle in the passing game, and if you allow the Hawkeyes to play from ahead, things can get a bit dicey, I think, here for the Buckeyes. But going into our predictions for this one specifically, I don't think Ohio State has much of a problem here. I think the Buckeyes, their number of weapons on their offense could overwhelm Iowa, and I'm not ready to pick against the Buckeyes quite yet, and especially their defense in a matchup where it feels like if they can get pressure on the quarterback, on Cade McNamara, things will go the Buckeyes' way. But the spread currently favors Ohio State by just around 19 points. I think the Buckeyes will cover and win 34-13 is my prediction. What do you say?
I like that pick. If you can run the ball, you can win the game. Ohio State boasts the country's 3rd best run defense. Iowa's right behind them at 4th. Both squads are top 15 of the country in rushing offense. This could be a major game for the law firm of Henderson and Judkins in a game that can certainly be won on the ground against a daunted Hawkeyes front 4. I'm going to go 31-13, very similar to you. Ohio State the winners.
All right, that'll do it for another episode of Buckeye Beat. Enjoy the game this weekend, everyone. For Tyler Danburg, I'm Noah Weiskopf.